Hello, our beloved viewers. It's 9 p.m. You are watching our live RTD channel. Welcome to this English news edition. Here are the top stories. The head of state received the president of Somaliland. Exchange of information between the CNC and the RTD. And on the international scenes about Ukraine, Vladimir Putin and Joe Biden agreed to a summit proposed by French President Macron. Those were the top stories. Thanks for joining us in our newsroom. The president of the Somaliland was arrived today in Djibouti. The country as a part of the 48 hours working visit upon his arrival at Djibouti International Airport. The Somali president, Mr. Musa Bihi Abdi, was received by the Minister of Interior, Mr. Saeed Nur Hassan, the Minister of Information in charge of Post and Telecommunication, Mr. Radwan Abdullah, Mr. Radwan, and the Minister of Trade and Tourism, Mr. Mohammed Warsamadiri, in the VIP lounge at the airport. After his arrival at Djibouti airport and received by the number of ministries, Somali president, his accompanying delegation went to the headquarters of the presidency of the republic, where he was received by the president of the republic, His Excellency Ismail Margili. This 48-hour visit aims to strengthen the multi-faced partnership and common interests that binds the two countries in many key sectors, including trade and security. This meeting also constituted an opportunity between the two parties to discuss cooperation and strategy partnership, especially in the field of security and the promotion of peace and stability in the region, and doubling the level of economic exchange between the Republic of Djibouti and Somaliland. The President of the National Assembly, Mr. Mohammed Ali Hamad, participated on Saturday in Cairo at the head of a parliamentary delegation in the work of the Fourth Conference of the Arab Parliament and the head of Arab Council and Parliaments, which is being held at the headquarters of the League of Arab States. The conference discussed the role of parliamentarians in supporting security and stability in the Arab world. The fourth conference of the Arab parliaments and head of Arab Council, which was hosted by General Secretary of League of Arab States in the Arab Republic of Egypt, with the participation of attendants and 21 president and representative of a council in the Arab countries, issued a statement at the conclusion of its work. The Arab Parliament and the Fourth Conference, in the presence of the head of councils and parliaments in Arab countries, agreed to approve a document under the title of Parliamentary Vision to Achieve Security and Stability and Advance the Current Arab Reality, and to submit it to their Majesties, Excellencies, the Arab leaders at the meeting of the Council of League of Arab States at the level of upcoming 31 summit, which will be held in the People's Democratic Republic of Algeria. In his speech at the Fourth Conference of the Arab Parliament, the President of the National Assembly, he highlighted the development of the current Arab situation and the roles of the parliamentarians in enhancing Arab security and stability. He also valued the positive monitoring and witness by the Egyptian relation at all levels in light of a recent visit of the President of the National Assembly and the President His Excellency Ismail Margili to Cairo, stressing the need to put parliamentary relation to border horizon in a manner commensurate with the well-stabilized relation of the two peoples and the two brotherly countries. He also expressed his thanks to the President of the National Assembly of Egyptian and the representative for Egypt is hosting and the Arab Parliamentary Summit, stressing the depth and consolidation of Egyptian and Djiboutian relation, praising the development that Egypt is witnessing in all files, especially in the new administrative capital. It was this morning the National Media Committee held a media meeting at the headquarters of the Radio and Television Corporation of Djibouti to prepare for the upcoming local election that the country will witness next March. This meeting allowed both parties, led by the Deputy Chairperson of the National Media Committee, Mr. Hussein, and the other party, led by the Director General of Djibouti Broadcasting and Television, Mr. Aden Abdi, and the Senior Executive, allowed the two parties to exchange views for a better coverage of the upcoming regional and municipal election in the country. During the meeting, the chairperson of the National Media Committee expressed her thanks and the gratitude for the Director General for his warm welcome and the opportunity for the committee to discuss ensuring media coverage by the National Radio and Television Corporation. At the end of the preparatory meeting for the regional and municipal election campaign, the delegation made up of National Media Committee toured the various facilities of the Radio and Television Authority, and the delegation received detailed information about the function of each of the department of the institution. In his speech, the Director General of the National Radio and Television Authority, Mr. Aden Abdi, expressed his happiness to hold this meeting with the National Media Committee, which discussed the materials and human resources available to the institution in order to carry out its media taxes, said the Director General. With the approach of the electoral campaign for the regional and municipal election scheduled to take place on the 11th of next month, the National Media Committee announced the visual and written media and representative of the competition's list that, according to law number 114 for the 7th Legislative Committee, the committee will respect the pluralism of information, fair access to the media, and the observation of principles and impartiality. The National Commission and the communication for the next regional and communal election invites the political parties as well as the candidates of civil society to comply with the taxes in force to allow our fellow citizens to fully choose their representative within the local assembly. It was this morning the Minister of Social Affairs and Solidarity, Ms. Ulufa Ismail Abdo, inaugurated a new center of popular fund for saving and loans, accompanied by the representative of the United Nations High Commissioner for the protection of refugees. This new service point, which is long awaited by the population, will ensure the support of the population in the establishment of income-generating activities. On the same day, the vaccination campaign against COVID-19 was launched for all beneficiaries of the program, and the Ministry of Social Affairs, alongside with the Ministry of Health, Solidarity, the first day of the launch of a vaccination, activities in the cooperation with the Ministry of Health witnessed that about 2,500 families benefiting from the Integrated Cash Transfer and Human Capital Development Program obtained a certificate of vaccination. The Integrated Program for Cash Transfer and Enhancement of Human Capitals in a national project that aims to provide a cash transfer of 30,000 for each person by the fund in order to improve their standards of living in a sustainable manner. In a statement, the representative of the United Nations High Commissioner for Protection of Refugees expressed his satisfaction with the opening of this social window and said, "The opening of a sixth window of social service, I consider it a major event because, as you know, the government of Djibouti has pledged to the international community to provide social protection for refugees, and therefore the UNICEF, the UNHCR, with the agency of UN organization, the Ministry of Solidarity and Social Affairs and the Ministry of Health is working hard to integrate refugees and social protection. Therefore, these efforts have become tangible today, and I am here to testify to that. In this regard, I would like to express my thanks to the government of the Republic of Djibouti, and thanks to the all being done these refugees here in Djibouti, he said. In his speech, His Excellency the Minister of Health, Dr. Ahmed Roble Abdillah, on this occasion, he praised the existing cooperation between the Ministry of Health and the Ministry of Social Affairs. And he said, today we are in PK12 neighborhood where the Ministry of Health is implementing an important project in the cooperation with the Ministry of Social Affairs, which is to provide health care to the simple families living in this neighborhood and the beneficiaries of the social activities provided by this ministry. The Ministry of Social Affairs, said the minister, and has made great effort to expand its service to all needy families as it's opened today new social windows in this neighborhood of PK12. In order to keep pace with this effort, the Ministry of Health launched a campaign to vaccinate and provide the vaccine to all citizens who always came to these windows in order to protect their health and condition and combat the spread of COVID-19 pandemic. The Minister of Health spared no effort to take care of the health of citizens throughout the national territory, conclude the minister. For her part, the Minister of Social Affairs and Solidarity, Ms. Ulufa Ismail Abdu, confirmed that her ministry works alongside with the concerned authorities in order to provide a valuable social service to the people. She said, "Today I am here with my colleague of the Ministry of Health in order to do three things at the same time. Otherwise, renewed the sixth social window in favor of service providers at the service provide here really needed a new hold, welcome them and receive their compliance. Today we are fortunate to have benefit from the funding, and I also thank the presence of the representative of the High Commissioner for Refugees for the initiative and financing the project so that we can benefit our residents as well as the refugees population residing in Djibouti, as this step dedicated to the inauguration of this headquarters is the first implemented for the benefit of people of PK12 and traders. These people are to serve them. 23 important events were held this morning in the VIP room of International Free Trade Zones of Djibouti, the headquarters between the head of Ports and Free Zones Authority in Djibouti, Mr. Abubakar Umar Hadi, and the delegate Minister of Digital Economy and Innovation, Ms. Mariam. Mr. Mariam Hamad Ali, in order to sign a partnership agreement between them. The ministry delegate in charge of decentralization welcomed the effort made by the port authorities in linking the various private agencies with the public institution and facilitating the procedures for port employee, allowing them less time and simple effort. After that, the ministry present two projects on implementing the digital systems for the head of port and free zones authorities, namely the smart port and the green data city, with digital being an engine of economic growth. For a proposal of introducing the concept of a smart port is to build the consensus around this vision that aims primarily to benefit from digital technologies. This is an initiative that will create new service and improve the performance of a port operation by encouraging innovations and using digital technologies as a level for the port's competitiveness, and making Djibouti an important and preferred terminal for ships. These two sides affirm that their desire to continue exchange on an ongoing basis. Under the patronage of the Ministry of Youth and Culture, Dr. Hibo Mumin Asowi, the Community Development Center in Hajdi, the neighborhood, hosted an event dedicated to the conclusion of the final activities of the Community Development Center within the framework of the National Week for the Artists and Mother Language. This occasion include the presentation of folkloric, traditional, and theatrical dances presented by the youth, which present the importance of preserving mother language. These events took place in the presence of the high personality from the Ministry of Youth and Culture, officials of district and second district, and the Community Development Center were also present in this meeting. Still in the framework of the National Week of the Mother Tongue, the Ministry of Youth and Culture organized an awareness session on copyright and related in the Dakhel region, which include innovative works in literature in such as books, poems, computers, program database, musical work, and arts. These events took place in the presence of the Minister of Youth and Culture, Dr. Hibo Momin Asowi, the Prefect of Dakhel Region, Aden Musa Darar, the head of the Regional Council, Mr. Abdul Rahman Yunis Are, along with many prominent figures of the artists and intellectual and experts in the governorate in the region Dakhel. At the opening of the conference, the Director General of the Djibouti Office Copyright and Neighboring Rights praised the active participation of all relevant parties, stressing that their intense presence reflect the attention they act and they attach to protecting cultural and intellectual property. On this occasion, the prefect of Dakhel region, Aden Musa Darar, gave a welcoming speech at the outset by the Minister of Youth and Culture. The prefect of Dakhel region said, "It is a real pleasure for me to celebrate with you and together this event of National Week of the Mother Language and the Copyright here, which I commitment and the focal point of the Community Development Center that has acquired under the leadership of the Ministry of Youth and Culture," conclude the prefect of Dakhel. And for her part, the Minister of Youth and Culture, Dr. Hibo Mumin Asowi, extended her thanks and appreciation to the people of the Dakhel region for the good reception and the hospitality. She recalled the importance of the reading and especially urged to the youth to keep their culture, which is the symbol of their identity, conclude the minister. Within the February and the framework, the program dedicated to combating cancer, the Husseiniya Center, in cooperation with the United Nations Population Fund and the Lion Club, organized on Sunday an information awareness and mobilization workshop on the prevention of female cancer, which brought together 60 women in municipality of Belbela Al Rahma complex. The course was activated by a team from the King the Center and the United Nations Population Fund and a doctor specializing in cancer were present. The aim of the workshop was to shed a light on the extent of the disease in Djibouti and the importance of early and regular examination and the means of preventions and treatment available in the country. During this workshop, an organizer urged all the women between the age of 25 and 65 to take the necessary examination for early detection in order to provide the medical care is available in our country. The director of Al Hussein Center for Reproductive Health stressed the tangible importance of this course to raise awareness of the knowledge and professional level of same women, and noting that the course aim to generalize preventive practice at the level of all care structure with the Djiboutian women and in the regard of early detection of the two mentioned cancer. And now moving on to the international scenes, the Elysee announced on Sunday, right, that Russian President Putin and U.S. President Biden agreed on a principle that they meet at the summit proposed by French President Macron, but that it will not be possible to hold it unless Russia does not invade Ukraine. The head of the United States and the Russian Federation agreed to the provision of such a summit meeting. Question for the summit will be prepared by Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov and U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken during their February 24 meeting. Such a meeting can take place only on the condition that Russia does not invade Ukraine. Western countries and the Kiev regime have been spreading allegations lately about Russia's potential invasion on Ukraine. Kremlin spoken Dmitry said that this speculation is an empty and groundless escalation of tension. This is it for this edition. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful evening.